I waited 9 months for this package and it's finally here. So I ordered this printer 9 months ago on Kickstarter and they promised that it was gonna be delivered in, I think it was June or July. So at the time, that would have just been a couple months. And now it is February of 2026 and I just got this printer. It's not very often that I'm patient to wait for something for 9 months, but I was really excited to get this. So let's see. The EufyMake UV printer E1 3D texture personal UV printer. So excited. 9 months and it's finally here. I'm usually not a patient guy. Just kidding, I'm very patient. Innovative 3D texture technology, prints on a variety of materials, 100% accurate and long-lasting colors, built-in smart snapshot camera. Okay, let's see. I don't really want to damage this box though. It's freaking glued down. I guess when you spend $1,500 on a printer, they want to package it nicely, huh? Whew. Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay, this is the part I don't want to bang anything on. Okay. Here it is.
Doesn't have to be.
I'm gonna try to start pulling things out. I don't really know what all this stuff is. I have to learn a lot of stuff here. There, what's in here? So this can detach. And this one, I think with that, is everything on the printer. Ooh. I don't really know how this thing works. I don't. Oh. What's this? I think that's supposed to be making noise here. Why is it blinking red at me?
This guy has no idea what he's doing.
I don't like this. Seems right. That's cool. It lights up green if it's in there. Okay, just made me go through a ton of setup stuff. It did like camera calibration, it injected ink, it printed this for the first time just to like see if everything's printing right. Everything's printing white. To see if everything's printing right, and now I can peel this off. This is actually the small bed. There's a bigger bed over there, but I can peel this off, and everything says it's good to go, so I'm gonna be able to do my first test print here in a minute. Okay, they give you these little ceramic tiles that have like a magnet on the back, and I'm gonna try to print my Allen Iverson artwork that I painted onto this little tile, and this is gonna be our first test print, so we're gonna see if it works. Kind of scared, but we're gonna give it a try. Okay, first test print, and I'm actually really blown away by this. It came out so cool. Look how tiny this is in my hand, and it's just a magnet. It actually sticks to my door, as all magnets would. But it's just really cool because I just turned this magnet into a piece of my artwork, and like, it took like a minute to print maybe. Take a look. Okay, we're gonna give it a magnet another try, but I'm gonna print this Kobe Michael Jordan drawing that I drew on my iPad a couple weeks ago, and we're gonna see how this comes out. Okay, this one I'm also giving it a relief texture, so it's supposed to like raise off. Use some more ink, but I want to try it, so might as well. We're gonna hit print. And I'm assuming that this one's gonna take longer because it's raised, but we'll also see about that. I really don't know. This is all new to me too. Okay, this is the one with no raised texture. This is just flat. And then this is raised texture. This is the maximum it can go. As you can see, like Kobe and Jordan are in the foreground. Even this trophy is raised. That is so cool. That is honestly very, very impressive. I am very satisfied with that. That's the reason why I bought this thing though, to print on cool things like this, and then the 3D texture thing really sold me. But I wasn't sure how cool it was really gonna be, but wow, is that awesome. One of the main things I bought this for is to do my custom sports cards on here, on like these gold vinyls and stuff. So we're gonna test out a sports card and see how it comes out. Okay, so now this right here is the main reason why I brought this printer, is because I wanted to make cooler sports cards, because I do art card releases on my website where I digitally design something where I paint a canvas and I turn them into art cards, put them in these slabs. I don't have a label made for this, but this is like the main reason why I bought this printer, because I can make gold cards and like print on cool different things, like cool different vinyls and stuff. So I'm super, super stoked about this right here. Really excited about that. And so I'm gonna order a bunch of different vinyls and do a lot more of this and include these into my art drops. For example, this is a gold card that I printed out on my other printer, not UV, and this is what it came out like. And I just auctioned this one off. It went for $270. And then look at this. It has that really cool shine, and it looks so much better. That one looks cool too, but this just looks so much nicer. So I'm really excited to be able to print stuff like this. Okay, I haven't done too many test prints, but I have learned one thing about this, is that it has a filter. It has a filter in here. It's a carbon filter. Let me get this out. It has a filter, but I will still say this thing still stinks. Like, it still gives off a smell when this is open. And so that's why, for the time being, I'm trying to figure out how to filter and ventilate that better, because I'm in kind of a closed area with only one window. And you can filter it out the window with a hose that you can hook up here, but I have an airbrush booth that already ventilates outside from when I paint, so I've just been turning this on, and it's actually been doing a very good job. I might upgrade this, because I can just turn, this is where I airbrush anyway, so I can turn this, but right now I turn this on, and it's pretty much sucking all the fumes, and I can very, very, very much tell that it's working, because it smells a lot less when this is on versus when this is just running by itself. So I think they did skip a few steps in the design, because this filter, although it is there to filter out smell and fumes, I don't think it's doing much work. And I have realized that I do get a headache when I use this printer. So if you're using this, it's not very pretty. It's not a very pretty setup, but I'd rather it be ugly than me die. So we're gonna roll with it. Now that I have more of a proper ventilation system, I went and bought some materials that I want to print on from Michaels. And I'm making a card drop today, so I'm gonna be testing out, like I said, this is mainly why I bought this, and I have a card drop I'm preparing for. So I bought a bunch of different foils. This one's holographic, probably hard to see. This is reflective when you shine light on it, so I wanna try that one. This one is holographic as well, but glows in the dark. And this is some silver that has textured metallic, it says, so I wanna print on that. And then I have some gold stuff left over, some gold and silver and platinum that I want to print on as well to make some gold cards like I did earlier with the Messi. So I have this silver, and I have two different types of gold and silver as well. So we're gonna be testing that and really just seeing what this printer can do. I also bought some clear plastic because I want to see how that prints too. Maybe I can make a clear card, like a transparent card, kind of like back in the day, Don Russ, I don't know if they still do, Don Russ sports card, they had like a clear card. I'll pop it up on the screen. Thought that was cool, so maybe I'll try something like that. Another big test day. Hopefully that ventilates nicely so it doesn't stink in here. Okay, so I'm just gonna be printing a sports card design, that I drew up on my iPad. And I'm gonna be putting on this cardstock right here. And so I taped around this. They say not to use blue tape, but I don't know if that means don't use tape in general. But some residue and overspray can get on this bed, and this is a sticky pad. So you like, I don't know, that was bothering me when I wasn't using any tape. So I'm taping up around this, hoping to catch any of that residue. Hopefully that doesn't mess up the printing. I don't really know if it will, but we're about to see. I have like different drawn variations. I just like change up the backgrounds and the colors and stuff. But we're gonna be making sports cards like this today. And then the foils I showed you earlier that are over there, those foils are also gonna be printed on. But right now we're just gonna start off with a blank piece of cardstock. So a really cool feature that I like on this is that this is actually a camera snapshot of your printing bed right now. And I can just drag this image and see exactly how it's gonna look right onto my card. So I really like that aspect, because then I just don't even have to guess on where it's gonna be landing and everything. And that is perfectly lined up on my cardstock right now. So that's really cool. Another really cool feature on this is that you can change the different types of textures. So right now I have it on flat raised, but then you click pattern texture and it will literally show you what it would look like. Pattern. I don't know how easy it is for you guys to see this, but there's like texture on this. You can also go to their maximum, and that's relief texture, and that's going to take a little while to load. But it basically is the thickest 3D printing you can get, so it just builds up layer by layer. Let's see what it gives us for. Probably going to take too long. Anyway, we're going to try pattern texture. No, I'm stuck here. We're going to try pattern texture to see how much texture it gives us. Okay, so this is the relief texture. So you can see it's super raised. Probably too raised for my sports cards, but it's still really cool for like other print. You guys saw it on the magnet, which is really, really cool. Okay, so there's all this texture in here. So like you can see in the background, the signatures texture, my logo, all that is textured. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. So we have like all this texture, and it fits in my case yet that I use. I use these sports card cases, these slabs. And yeah, it came out really sick. I really am enjoying this printer, and I'm really enjoying how these are coming out. Okay, so this print actually was printed with the pattern texture. I just showed you guys this one, and it took 13 minutes to do, which I don't feel is awful. I didn't use white because my background was already white, so that saves you on a lot of ink. If you're gonna use this printer, turn off the white if you don't actually need it to be white. Like if you don't need to use white, it saves a lot of ink. But so this 3.5 inch by 2.5 inch sports card with pattern texture, which I can go a lot thicker. I didn't go as thick because I don't know what can fit in here. I'm gonna try a little bit more, but with this texture, took 15 minutes. So that's not too bad. So we're gonna try a bunch more of these. Okay, we're gonna try to print 2 at once this time around. Same one, we're gonna do this one again, because I will say I taped around the edges, and then when I peeled the tape up, a little bit came up with it, like it was attached. The overspray was attached, and it chipped a little bit off the card, so I didn't love that. So I'm gonna try something different. Instead of making the exact cutout of what I want, I'm leaving extra space on the cardstock, and then I'll just use my cutter to cut the actual, like around it. So we're not using tape this time. Well, we are to hold it down, but we're gonna use just a bigger piece of cardstock. So that's what we're gonna try. Also, we're gonna bump up the thickness. It goes all the way up to 2 millimeters. We're gonna bump it up from 0.5 millimeters. I wasn't sure what's gonna fit in the case, but we're gonna try 1 millimeter. Maybe it'll still fit in here, who knows? But it does go up to a total of 2 millimeters. Actually, if you go to relief texture, it goes up to 5 millimeters, but that will not fit in here. But it is really cool. Uses a ton of ink though. So as you can see, this is what we're gonna try to print. This one, and then we're gonna redo this one, but we're gonna try 2 at a time. There is a bigger bed, but I'm just testing things out. But when I get this down, I'll just put the big bed in there and then put all the cards on one printing. It will go a lot faster. But this is what we're trying. It's kind of hard to see, but this is just one piece of cardstock, and I'm just gonna print, and then I'll cut these out around it when it comes out. So I'm assuming this is gonna be like a 30-minute print, but let's find out. Okay, so I wasn't too off on how long it's gonna take to print. It does say it's got 45 minutes. It doesn't always go up to that time. It's a little bit longer than I thought it would take, so this thing does take a while to print, but I mean, it's a UV printer at a much, much lower cost than UV printers cost. Yeah, that made a lot of sense. It's like industrial UV printers, $20,000, $30,000 plus. This one I got for $1,500 at the Kickstarter. You can now buy it for like $22,000. So, I mean, I feel like it's fair. Plus the things it does, like when you actually see the print, If you can just find something to do while it's printing, which is what I'm doing, I'm working on other things while I'm waiting for it to print, it's definitely worth it. So it's currently printing and it says I have like 45 minutes right there. It just started. So I'll update you guys if it actually takes 45 minutes, but for now, we wait. Okay, it's done. It did take 45 minutes and here's my first look. I can already see the texture on this is crazy. So I'm about to see what this actually looks like in the card case, but the texture is definitely a lot thicker. Okay, so I mentioned earlier I waited 9 months for this printer and I'm really starting to think that it was fully worth it. So I cut these out and they are literally insane. This one had a minor error on the border. It's got like, it didn't fully cover. It's got like a black spot, almost like it was burnt. I don't really know, but it kind of sucks because that was a 40-minute print for 2 of them. So a 20-minute print and some ink is wasted by one little mistake, which kind of sucks. So I gotta reprint this one. But these came out literally so good. And the 1 millimeter texture is, I'll show you the side by side. This is the thicker one than this. You can tell when you're feeling it and you can definitely see it, but I'm not sure how well it captures on camera. But the print is literally so good. And I really like the red one too. There was just one minor error over in this, on this border, if that will focus, but so good. And I'm so surprised that it fits in these cases nicely too. So we're just gonna keep making these cards. I got a bunch of things I'm gonna try, but it's coming out really cool. This right here is the tiny little nick I was talking about, right next to the KC. It's tiny, but you can see that black. So that's the only thing that didn't work right there, which is kind of a bummer because that is a 20-minute print, but it is what it is. I'm sure that happens a lot, so I'm gonna reprint this one. Printer for something that was not the printer's fault. That black line was actually in my initial drawing. If you can see in the corner right here, that black line, I didn't airbrush it or change it white enough. Because I've been changing all these backgrounds and borders and stuff for each different variant. So it actually did exactly what it was supposed to do. It made it black when I had it black, so switching that, that's awesome to know because I was bummed that that 20-minute print ended up wasting ink, but it was really me that was wasting my own time and ink. Okay, so I was saying I want to print on these foils, so I'm just cutting out these foils into a larger than sports card size, like this, and then I'm adding this is just a sticker back, I'm adding this to cardstock, like so, and then I'm putting it on this mat, and then when I print on the, when I print right on the foil, then this will be the background of the card, so then you get that nice platinum silver like foil look. So that's the point of the foils. So we're gonna try one of those now. Because like before, this is all printed. Like this whole thing is printed. And now we're gonna leave some negative space and leave this as the background. So we're gonna give that a try. I also found that I really do like this taping system. It allows no overspray and it cleans out the bed really nicely. So I do really enjoy that. I am enjoying the way I'm doing this. It's not the most practical, but it works really well, so. I'm gonna continue to do it until I find a better idea. Also, this would be going a lot quicker if I was using the bigger bed, but I'm just testing things right now, and I don't wanna spend a ton of money on ink right now. Like I'm not trying to waste all my ink while I'm testing things, so I'm just doing a little test at a time until I really learn. Then I would just do this in batches. So I would just print a lot more of these cards at once if I knew everything I know now as I'm learning, but I don't want to do that while I'm trying to figure this out because I don't want to waste ink. It's expensive. And while we're on the topic of ink, it is $300 for the whole CMYK kit plus the cleaning cartridge that goes on the side of the printer. So that is really expensive. It pays off nicely for me because I'm selling artwork and I charge a high amount for that. But if you're selling like little magnets and stuff and like Etsy stuff, still very profitable. I feel like little stuff can go a long way. So far what I'm understanding is that these cards aren't taking too much ink, but I still think it can be a very profitable machine. For me, it's great. And for a lot of other people selling it as artwork and like using it for prints and stuff, it works really well. But that's just something to keep in mind. You don't want to waste a ton of ink because ink is very expensive. So I'm really bad at filming when something's not going right, and I should get better at that because I know that's like raw and authentic, but I just spent like 4 hours not printing anything or not getting anything done because you see that white spot right there? So I tried doing this transparent background to print on these foils, and it kept printing out these white spots here in this corner and up there. No idea why. It happened on so many prints. Well, I know now why. It took me literally 4 hours to figure out. Same thing with this one over in this corner right there. It just kept happening. I'm like, oh my God. I started thinking it was the printer's fault. Turns out almost all these mistakes are my fault.
Oh.
What are you doing, little guy?
What do you mean?
What are you doing on that crutch?
Oh, I'll hurt myself.
Oh. I finally got one that printed out perfectly. It did take a long time to figure it out, but I got it. So it turns out when you're printing on like regular printer, like an inkjet printer, like that one right there, it doesn't really matter if there's extra pixels because it just prints and you don't see it because they're not visible. But on a UV printer, it picks up every single pixel. So there was just pixels over here in this corner that were just picking up on the printer and I couldn't see them. So it took forever to find which layer because my artwork was in like 20 different layers on my iPad and it took forever to find, but I found it after 4 hours of testing it and trying to figure out what the issue was. And we're good to go. So we're gonna print a whole bunch more right now. I also turned off a layer, so I had to reprint the gold one, but I'm gonna be printing on this gold right here and the silver. So 2 more cards come in, we're gonna see how it comes out. Okay, while I'm waiting for that to print, because that's like a 40-minute print, I'm just gonna be cutting out all the like different foils that I've been showing you guys in making. This one's the glow-in-the-dark one, looks really cool. And I'm just gonna be cutting all these out and prepping the cards because I finally feel like I got all like the bugs and everything figured out, every mistake. Probably not even close, but I feel like I got everything going, so we're gonna be cooking here. So I wanna start making, prepping all the cards to make. So just gonna turn these into sports cards so then we can print on them. Okay, 2 things here. I learned that printing out wider and then just cutting it out is much easier. And look how cool. These are both texture on foil, so I left the transparency in the background, obviously. And these came out so sick. I'm actually in love with, this is why I bought the printer. And the texture came with the printer, like it's able to print texture, but I bought it to print on foil like this. And I'm really, really obsessed with it. Okay, so I just printed out this one right here and it came out really cool. Just know this glows in the dark. It doesn't capture really well on camera, but it works really well anyway because it's Kobe and it's purple and it's got this nice shine to it. So I really like how this one came out too. I still have to print all the labels, but right now this is what we got in total for the cards. We have this yellow, this hardwood texture, the red, these are all the ones we printed early. Gold. This nice silver, and now this iridescent purple. Which, did I mention it glows in the dark? Pretty cool, pretty cool. Here's my monument of failures. Actually over here is that. All the stuff I failed on earlier. It was a lot, and I wasted a lot of ink, and ink is expensive. But this one I just forgot something. I turned off a layer. Same with this, but it's all good now. We're gonna keep going. Okay, is this thing on? It is on. I gotta turn this off now. Okay, now you guys can actually hear me. It's a mess on this desk right now, but I'm currently using the flatbed for the first time. I was using the mini one you guys saw. So it's this versus this big one, which I can print a lot more on. So I'm trying to put the adhesive on this. I did just test this, but I taped it down instead of using the adhesive. But I actually need the adhesive for this one. I want to see how this works printing straight onto these. So I'm gonna put this down. Okay, I made my own makeshift sticky bed because it wasn't the back. The cards are textured that I printed on, and then when I tried sticking it to the sticky mat, it doesn't stick, and I don't want to leave any residue, so I just use some double-sided tape because I don't think it leaves a lot of residue, and then put down another piece of cardstock so it doesn't print onto the bed because I don't like the overspraying the bed. So we're gonna give this a try. Okay, so I'm super excited. This only took 3 minutes to print, and I didn't use a raised texture, but it came out perfectly. So this is printed right onto the back of the card. My original thought was to use some sticker paper, but this ended up working really well. So we're gonna take this off, and then hopefully this leaves no residue on this side. This is just a test also. So this was one of the ones I messed up in the corner right here. But yeah, this is printed right on the back and it came out perfect. I also just redesigned these, so I'm super excited with that. So we're gonna print off on the rest of them. Okay, I cannot begin to tell you guys how frustrating it has been this is the next day. I was printing these backs and I was trying to print right onto the back of the cards, and that kind of left some bleedage. So it bled on the back of this card right here. It bled out, and that's printing on cardstock. So the cardstock, honestly, it didn't look very well. So I took sticker paper, started printing on the sticker paper, and then putting it on here. I spent 4 hours designing new backs, and just like I had a museum of failures over here, and this is even half of them. This is my guide sheet now, but like this wasn't even half of them. My museum of failures, I messed up this one. I was like, this was a good, I tested it a bunch of times, got it to where I wanted it, and then I started doing it on my actual prints. I had to reprint these because all these backs are messed up. I spent 4 hours designing the new backs and like 2 or 3 hours testing them, and I only actually got one that I liked. So this is my first one that I like. So that one came out perfect. I still needed the label, but I have 9 more to go. And I now have to reprint the fronts on these 3 right here. Super frustrating. I am just this close to like dialing it in, but yeah, I have so many failures. And it got so frustrating last night that usually when I leave, I like to clean up my shop and then leave. But I printed so many times trying to get it right. But I finally have a system that works, I think. So today should be a pretty productive day of putting these together. And I can't wait to, at the end, so soon I'm going to print, when I'm done with all these, I'm gonna print on like a canvas like this size and try like a little bigger piece. I'm gonna use a little bit more ink, but. Okay, I told you guys about how I changed the back and I spent 4 hours designing it. This was my old back right here. Had this little peel thing. I signed them, limited edition, stuff like that. That was the old design. Here's a blank one. And this is the new design. So it says original collectible art, handmade by King's Collectibles, limited edition. It's got this cool new logo right here. Issued by King's, original artwork. So I really like the new look. I want it to be busy, but so that's the old, and this is the new. So that's what we're trying to print on the back of these, and these are all the ones that I messed up. I also was going to do this beige color or this tan to make it more vintage, but then I like realized that I'm 3D printing on the front of these, and I just didn't like the vintage look as much because it's like so new. It's like not 3D print. It's like UV raised print. This looks very new, and then I turned it around and I didn't like this. So that's the beige, and I ended up going with black, or not black, white, which I think I like a lot better, so. Okay, I just ran into another issue. I've been printing for about 2 more hours since I last picked up the camera, and this was my most recent print, right here. I have no idea. It literally just, it's all smudged and missed. I don't even know what the hell that is. Anyway, I had to figure out what that is. I don't know if it's something with the print head or something. I don't even know. I have no idea. This is my first time having an error with the actual printing, I guess. So, I have no idea where to even begin, but I'm just gonna Google it and see what happened. I just filmed a part where I just said what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to move this one.
What did you all talk about?
How I messed up, how this is not working right now, and how I'm gonna run a test print right now. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna try to run a test print to see if this works now. I ran an auto clean, a quick flash clean, and we're gonna see if this works now. So it's taking a snapshot right now. I like this machine. This machine just doesn't like me. It's like, oh shoot, where did I put that? Oh, it's by your own. And this. I also learned you're not supposed to take the top off while mid-print. I was trying to watch it from above. And it scratched the hell out of it too. I don't even know when that happened. Holy. What? I don't even know. I have no idea how to explain this. At all. It's like, what is that? I did an auto clean, a flash clean, not a deep clean, because those take a long time and take a lot of ink. But 3 minutes and 20 seconds, I'll know if this is doing fine. Okay, it turns out all it needed was a quick clean. There's a quick clean, a medium clean, and a deep clean on this, and the quick clean only takes like a few seconds. And I think the print head nozzle is just clogged. So we went from this, and then I just printed this one out. So, I don't know how it just like some ink got clogged or something, I don't know. I'm glad that was it, because it only took like 3 seconds to fix. But now it's printing well, so let me turn this on. Our last day of working on these cards. I'm almost done. Today's Friday. I'm gonna do the drop on Sunday because I had to I usually do them on Saturdays, but I had to make the posts and everything, and I'm gonna do it on Sunday just because this drop took a long time. I'm really happy with it. I didn't really record a lot of me working on the labels, but I'll show you guys the labels I made. I redid the whole card like I told you guys. I remade the labels, but it was late last night. I was working on it till 12:30, 1 a.m. and I wasn't filming because I was just trying to get my work done and I was tired. And it takes a lot more time to film, so I'll show you the labels right now. So I'm gluing these shut right now, but I found a way to do the negative space right here so the gold shines through. Same thing with, I've had this one in the case over here, but same thing with this. This shines through, so that's really cool. Otherwise they just look just like this. So these are the new labels. The name of the drop is Headspace. King's Collectibles, my logo, 1 of 1, the month, original artwork made in Wisconsin, my QR code, signature, and then the backs, Crown Collection, blah, 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 blah. Looks really cool. I'm really happy with the redesign of everything. So I'm just finishing up gluing these in the cases, and then I can get them all in their respective acrylic cases, and we'll be done with this drop. For the old labels, and a drop I did, this was number 31. This is the 47th card drop, and here are the new. So a little bit different. I wanted to go more busy and have more stuff written on this. Also, I can print smaller with this UV printer. So these are small, but it came out nice. And these have no texture. This has texture on it. And then the backs, these are the new backs. Original artwork. This was the back over here. So definitely went for a lot more busy of a look, but I really, really like how it came out. A lot more information, a lot more writing. This new skull crown logo I really like. So yeah, there's a comparison. Let me know in the comments which one you like better. Last thing that we have to do, and my favorite thing to do, is to finally put the cards together. So curate the band color that goes around it and all that stuff. This has a black band around it, and we have all these different colors. For bands in this drawer, we have green, orange. So they're just rubber bands that go around the slab case. So I'm thinking I'm gonna pair them actually. I'm thinking like this one's gonna get a green one around it. So I'll just show you. There's a yellow. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna pair these. I think that'll be cool. And then it kind of just, everything comes together in this final step. So it's got this green band around it now. And then open up these. I have these individually packaged from throwing this stuff on the ground right now. So these are an acrylic case right here. This just pops open, just a magnet, and then you just slide in here and they're almost like a perfect fit because I had them custom made for that. And then we have the green one done. So I love doing this part because it just brings everything together and it signals that I finally have a drop ready. So let's do that. I'm putting the last one together here, which I'm just so excited and relieved. It's not like I had a ton of fun making these as I always do, but I went through so much stuff the last couple days, this week actually, putting these together because I was learning how to do it. And to see all my work done in front of me like this right now and just like excited to drop these on my website, I'm super happy. It came out super, super nice. I love the new printer. I have a Canon printer that I also use, but the UV printing capabilities are absolutely like insane, next level. So I'm really, really excited to have this done. Okay, after using this printer for about a week now, and I put about 60 hours in this week working with it, and I printed for a total of like a long time. So I'm gonna rate this printer. I'm gonna tell you if I think it was worth it, and pros and some cons. So rating the printer, honestly, I wanna give this thing a 10 out of 10 because it was pretty much flawless. And I know things can go wrong like along the line, but I used this thing for a week, and I know a week isn't too long, but it only gave me one issue, and that was when if you watch the whole video, it like sprayed out and like the image didn't come out clear. All I had to do was like a quick clean and it was fixed. So honestly, I want to give this thing a 10. This thing is a beast, especially for the price that you can get in the UV printer for. Awesome. Was it worth the wait? I waited 9 months. You guys don't have to wait 9 months because I got it in the Kickstarter, but you guys can now order this on the website, and this isn't even sponsored. I literally just want to talk about what I thought and if I liked it. So I'm happy I waited 9 months for it. I know that's a long time, but so I'm gonna talk about the pros. The pros, I wrote down prints on almost every material, which I think is to be true. I didn't print on aluminum and wood and all that stuff, so I guess I didn't test it out, but it said to print on any material, and I believe it with the way this thing prints. It's not supposed to print on clothes or anything, I don't think, which is, I mean, you can't have it all. It's got an AI software, so if you're printing something, you send your image into the software and then it chooses what's in the foreground, what's in the background. I used it on my cards. It worked like a dream. It worked on almost everything. I didn't have any issues with that. So I also wrote very easy to use. Software was easy. Didn't really have any complaints. Perfect. Cost. I wrote down the cost as a pro, and I got this machine for $1,500 because I did back the Kickstarter, like I said, a million times. But it now costs $2,200 on their website, which I know is still expensive, but comparing it to like industrial UV printers, which is the only way you could UV print up until now, I would, in comparison, those are like $20,000 to $30,000. Like, they're really expensive. So to finally be able to get one in home and use it like this, it's awesome. Now, I did make a cons list, and I don't really have many cons because honestly, I loved it. I'm sure as I use this thing throughout the months and years, I'll have more issues with it, like anything that you use for a long time. But for the cons right now, I wrote it's a bit slow, and I was kind of hesitant to write this because it's a UV printer. I mean, it's not just printing out, something on a piece of paper like through an inkjet printer, but it is a tad bit slow. Like, it will take, like, one of my textured prints took 30 minutes, but for a good reason. It's printing up texture. So if you have some patience, it'll be just fine. I said I wish it could print a little bit wider. It can print far this way, but width, it prints like, I don't know the actual number. I think that's like 13 to 16 inches or something like that. So I wish that could print a little bit wider because I want to print on some bigger canvases and stuff, but beggars can't be choosers. And my biggest con was that this thing smells when it's going. It does have, like I stated earlier, it does have filters in here. It's a high efficiency activated carbon filter. So it does have that, so I feel like it captures most of like the toxins or the emissions or whatever it's called. But I would definitely say they might have skipped a few steps, and I would try to make some sort of ventilation system. I got lucky because I already have this airbrush booth that I paint on, I guess I paint in it. Turning this and ventilating it, this already ventilates outside, and then if you want to get, instead of ventilating it, you can ventilate out a window. We do have a hole cut in this wall right here, so it does go outside, and you can put a carbon filter on it if you don't want to send off the emissions, or I don't even know what the technical thing is, the fumes into the environment. You can put a carbon filter on the end of it. So ventilation is probably, it definitely is my biggest con, because when I was using this without ventilation, it did reek in this room, and I only have one window in here and a back door, so it definitely needs ventilation. It smells. And it also gave me a headache the first time I used it without ventilation. But once I hooked it up to this, not even hooked it up, I just turned my airbrush booth. It was working great. So 100% would say this printer is worth it. If you're looking for a affordable UV printer, this thing works like a dream. Perfect for small businesses like mine. And this is a few days after I finished recording the rest of the video. I did my drop on all the cards, and I did sell out. The drop was today. I sold all the cards. I made a total of 10, as you guys were watching, and then the gold card I auctioned off. So I sold 9 cards at $200 a piece, and I sold out of all of those, and then I auctioned off the gold card, and it went for $500. So I sold enough to cover the printer, and I know I'm selling this stuff as artwork. So if you're an artist, I'm charging a little bit more because I'm charging for my artwork and not just like AI printing an image or whatever. So I made my money back on this printer in the first drop that I did, but I also have a following, so it really depends where you're at, but I do really think you can make your money back on this printer. So definitely would recommend, and I appreciate you guys for staying and watching this video. It means the world to me. I'm going to keep putting out videos on YouTube, and pretty much weekly, not pretty much, my goal is every week to put out a video. So if you guys like this video and you want to see more art videos from me, please click the subscribe button and let me know in the comments what you guys want to see, because I actually care about what you guys want to see. So thank you guys, and I will see you in the next one. I don't know why I'm talking with this pen so much, but peace.